The question I just asked you, when is it never a good time to use proof positive pre-framing for your boy or for him to use it for you? That question, the way I worded it, is called inversion, and that's number 4. Okay, it's called inversion. Inversion is probably, there's a quote that Albert Einstein likes to say where he's like, the purpose of education is not to have the brain memorize facts, but to teach you how to use your brain, teach you how to think, right? It's not to memorize shit, it's to teach you how to think, okay? Inversion is the ultimate strategy for thinking that I've ever come across, okay? It's also the ultimate strategy that Charlie Munger has ever come across for thinking, okay? And if you don't know how badass Charlie Munger is, consider the intelligence and wealth of Warren Buffett, and then add that to the intelligence and wealth of Bill Gates, okay, and then add that to the intelligence and wealth of Elon Musk. Put them all together and understand that they all go to Charlie Munger when they have questions. That's how smart he is, okay? Go on YouTube, just watch one of his talks. He's like 94 years old right now, by the way. So if you like environmental exposure, find out where he's gonna be next talking and go see him before he dies. No offense, Charlie, okay? Because it's gonna happen at some point, okay? So I'm going to read you a little excerpt from his book. Again, everyone should have this book, okay? And if you don't understand like how ridiculous it is, I've read it probably 10 times by now. This is just 500 pages. That's my notes from one page. Okay, the whole book is like this. Here's what he said. Another idea, so he's talking about the most important lessons of his life, okay? And he says, another idea that I learned from a young age was from a rustic who always said that he wanted to know where he was going to die so he wouldn't go there. Okay, that is the essence of inversion. He goes, just tell me where I'm going to die so I know to never go there, okay? The point of it is that the way mental constructs work, problems frequently become easier to solve through inversion. Okay, problems become easier to solve through inversion. If you turn problems around into reverse, you often think better. For instance, if you want to help India, the question you should consider asking is not, how do I help India? Instead, you should ask, how can I hurt India? Instead, you should ask, how can I hurt India? Okay, you find what will do the worst damage and then you simply avoid it. And he gives a couple more examples. He's like, let me use a little inversion now. How do you really fail in life? Okay, so instead of asking, how do I succeed in life? You invert it, you turn it in reverse, and you go, how can I fail at life? And he talks about, he goes later, he says sloth, being fucking lazy, or being unreliable are two of the most guaranteed ways to fail in life. And he goes deeper into it, okay? But that is the essence of inversion. Turn the problem in reverse, you think better, okay? So instead of me asking, what are some really good places to use proof positive pre-framing? Because when I ask you that, your brain like, okay, you come up with a couple, but you can't list 10 right away. It's kind of hard. But instead, if I flip it around and I go, what are some good places to never use proof positive pre-framing to pre-select your friend? You're like, never, okay? Does everyone get that? Like instantly, the answers your brain comes up with right away are just better when you invert. How can I help India? I don't fucking know. How can I hurt India? I come up with a lot of ways, right? Who here can come up with ways when I say, like, how would you hurt India? If you were the US government and I'm like, how are you going to hurt India?
Cut out energy.
You what?
Energy.
Cut out energy, what else?
Cut out food.
Cut out food, what else?
Water.
Water, what else? You bomb them?
Yeah.
Bomb them? Damn straight, right? Erect a statue of Gandhi and then, I don't know, paint it red and then blow it up, right? They might not like that, right? I can come with all kinds of ways to hurt them. So you make a list and then you're like, don't do any of that. Perfect, I got the answer. Okay, and simply by like not doing that shit, you do everything else, you tend to be really successful. All right, so for instance, one question that I asked myself a couple weeks ago was like, how can I ensure that I never double my YouTube subscriber base every year for the next 5 years? How can I ensure that? Okay, off the top of my head, I can tell. Never send my email list to watch my YouTube videos and tell them to subscribe. Never do partnership videos with other big YouTube bases and we kind of like cross promote each other. Never connect with other big guys on YouTube. Never ask any guys who are big on YouTube to speak at my events. Never connect any of these guys to people that they want to know who I know, right? Never do any of that stuff. So what did I really just create? A list of how to do it, right? But if I just ask myself, how do I increase my YouTube subscriber base? I don't fucking know. I have a general idea. I go on Google and I let some asshole who doesn't know shit tell me what to do, right? Because he was first on Google, and you go to his webpage and he has a little shitty blog with 4,000 subscribers, and he's like, here's what you do to get subscribers on YouTube. And I read that. Like, that's not going to help that much, right? Because I know most of the answers. I just have to access them the right way and use inversion to do that, okay? Use inversion to do that. Here's another question. Ask yourself, how do I hurt my self-esteem? Who's got answers? How do you hurt your self-esteem?
Take negative feedback as to your self-image, like
As fact,
yeah.
right? What else? How else could you hurt your self-esteem?
Listen to other people.
That's perfect, right? Listen to other people. What else? Give me one more.
Think you're ugly.
Think you're ugly. That would be bad for your self-esteem, right? Okay, so what did we really just create? A list of what not to do. And if you don't do it, your self-esteem will very, very likely increase. Okay, inversion. Super fucking powerful. And you can use it on big stuff, like how do I hurt India? How do I hurt my self-esteem? How do I ruin my life? You can use it on small stuff too. Like sometimes you're going out for dinner and you don't know what restaurant you want to go to, and you have a few in mind. Dude, I always ask myself, I'm like, what do I definitely not want for dinner tonight? I decided right away. It makes perfect sense, okay? And we know, okay? We know for a fact women like decisive men, right? I love it. Dan Pena is always like, dude, he's like, I may be wrong, but I'm never in doubt. Because I may be wrong, but I'm never in doubt, okay? Women love a decisive man. Everyone loves a decisive man. Everyone out there is they're uncertain. They don't know where to go. They're looking for someone to follow. They have their umbilical cord hanging from their belly button, looking to plug it in somewhere for some certain man to follow, right? Why not you? Why not you? Okay? And part of being being decisive doesn't take intelligence, right? Anyone here could just act certain about everything all the time. Probably should. Okay, you probably should. But if you also want to be a good decision maker, use inversion, right? Use inversion.